Level 1, the sleeping victim. The opponent here is the victim mentality. The hardest challenge at level 1 is breaking free from unconscious living. Most of our society is living in this sleeping victim mere level 1 of living. They're living vicariously through their limiting beliefs. They are literally aware of their life less than 1% of the time. 99% of the time, they are reliving traumas, they're reliving limitations, and they're walking through the world as if they were living in a shadow, completely disconnected from who they really are. In their wholeness, connection to source or universe is completely missing. These kinds of people are those people you hear that are continuous complainers, continuous people that are always looking for the bad rather than the good, and always feeling victim and helpless to their circumstances. It seems like they feel like they're trapped and there's no way out. They can't seem to find a way to even know and understand that there may be light at the end of the tunnel. Most people go all the way until they live 60, 70, 80, 90 years old in this level 1, as crazy as that sounds. Now, for every level, there's a reward. And in this level, getting to level 2, the reward is if they can sense a curiosity and an interest that there's something beyond themselves that's happening in this world. As soon as that happens, the advancement to level 2 can happen. What do they need to do to advance to level 2? What's needed is the spark of curiosity and interest and the fundamental awareness that they are bigger than this body and there's something else playing out here, like the law of attraction. Level 2, the awakener. And the opponent at level 2 is skepticism. Most people are very challenged at level 2 of the awakener as their mind is so closed and black and white continuous thinking. They're constantly understanding, hey, there may be a law of attraction. There may be me as a soul in this body, but I'm pretty skeptical that this is actually a thing. These are the people that you share the books with or you share the YouTube personal development videos with, and they seem to always have something to say about it in terms of doubt, concern, and fear. Not sure if that works. Is that really real? Come on, you can't be telling me that you could just think what you want and you can start to attract. There's a sense of curiosity inside of them. You can sense it intuitively, even if they don't say, hey, I'm curious about this, can you tell me more? There's a feeling within that says, I am open to something, but most of me puts up walls. I live my life behind walls, and I'm not going to let you enter in if and until I feel safe and secure. Now, most of this level 2 awakener is actually living in trauma still, most of their embodiment, but their awakening is a sense of curiosity and interest that they've advanced into more of their day. The only reason why they have thick walls is because they're afraid. They're afraid that this may be the truth. They're afraid that this actually may be a possibility. And they may have a fear of failure or a fear of having too much hope in it not going through. Living out their trauma, they're living in fear. Now, they will get rewarded if they continue as an awakener on level 2 because they will start to feel a sense of possibility. They will feel less trapped. They'll feel a sense of freedom. And it's like their life is opening up. Something possible, something new can happen if they continue in this stage. Now, level 3 for the awakener advancing into level 3 must start to have the opening and closing of the walls. So they're thick walls. They're feeling like I need to protect myself from something not actually, I'm scared that this is the truth. I don't know. And most likely, by the way, they'll never admit that they're scared. They'll put on a tough face or an angry face, something, a facade that blocks them from the world and says, hey, I am totally okay. I am just fine, but actually deep down, they're not. In order to advance here, they start to open up the walls and allow people and ideas to enter. Level 3, the seeker. This is a very pristine stage, even though it's at level 3. The seeker doesn't have many walls, but it is faced with a very worthy opponent as they're seeking more, and it's the universal doubt within. They understand that they've went from a victimhood to starting to feel the awakening and the possibility. Their walls are completely off. They're starting to open up to the possibilities and ideas, but the seeker is seeking more truth and wisdom inside the self. And ultimately, the seeker is filled with self-doubt and unknown. Can I be the one to use the law of attraction? Can it work for me? Is this actually something that I can do? Can I actually achieve a 6 or 7 figure business? Can I actually manifest myself $50,000? These are constant questions in the mind for the seeker. The seeker does understand and firmly believes that the law of attraction is a thing, firmly believes that mindset is a critical component to them growing. They love personal development. Yet something inside of them is constantly seeking that self and that known truth. Am I the one? Can I do it? I see everybody else on the outside. I see the people on social media. I see these people beautifully manifesting in their desires, but I don't know if that's me. Now, the seeker here in level 3 will be rewarded if and until they continue into the seeking of who am I and what is my truth? So they can advance to the level 4 mark by advancing their wisdom inside themselves, answering questions like, who am I really? How can I actually use this law of attraction idea better? How can I confidently move forward? Asking more empowering questions for the seeker will start to get them out of their own self-sabotaging doubt behaviors and entering the yellow level of level 4. Even better than a level 3 then becomes level 4, the learner. The learner is a beautiful stage of consciousness where we are open to so many possibilities that we consume. Every self-help book that somebody can get their hands on, every audio book in the car that they can listen to, every YouTube video on personal development, every seminar they can possibly go to, they're there. And they're less focused on doubt and more focused on finding the answers. But it leads to another worthy opponent here in level 4 in the learner, and that is complete overconsumption. The overconsumption does improve their mental and spiritual progress. They're a lot less doubtful of the process, but their biggest trouble is a very deep level of frustration. They know this stuff works. They really are not too doubtful about it. They're not too doubtful about themselves. But since they know so much, they have so much progress within, they don't understand, how do I actually take all of this stuff and focus it into a directive, focus it into actually seeing progress and results. It's basically the level of information overload. So there's a level of peace and certainty within, but at the same time, a major turmoil of so much frustration because they know all of this, but they can't comprehend on how to get physical progress. The reward into an advancement of level 5 here is, how can I stop consuming information? Stop reading the books. Stop watching 1,000 videos a day. Stop listening to audiobooks in the car. And instead, in order to advance to level 5, how can I actually implement and systemize the understanding and knowledge to bring me to that next stage of my life? So it all comes down to application. How do I apply all this? Controller, level 5. As interesting as the name sounds, it doesn't sound so good. This is a profound jump in the quantum leap stages of 1, 2, 3, 4 into 5. The controller is actually used to implementation, takes a look at everything they've known and actually is applying it, doing the exercises, doing the techniques, and actually following through on, if they have a mentor or coach's guidance, or if they're doing self-guided work, they're following through on some of the steps that they understand and they heard of before. So physical progress, it does start to move forward. They may see some wins. They may see some great things physically manifested and attracted into their life. The one caveat here for the controller is exactly what the identity name talks about here, is they're consumed now with controlling the universe, controlling the outcome. How is it going to come? Where's the money or thing going to come from? And how am I going to, or when is that thing going to come into my life? Circling over and over and over these mental cycles, stuck in how this thing is going to play out, and really lacking a lot of the skill and ability to let and allow and decrease the attachment of something actually happening that they really desire. The real reason why this is going on in the reward of going through this level 5 to level 6 is understanding level 5 is actually filled with the trauma of anxiety. When we think about how is this thing going to come, where is it going to come from, or when is it going to come into my life, it's a form of trauma anxiety of something coming in. Now, most people don't want to actually say I have anxiety, but almost every human being on this physical plane, when they're developing themselves, does have a form of anxiety when I'm trying to control an outcome, I'm trying to control a person, or something happening in my life that seems uncontrollable. So yes, we are the creators of our life. At the same time, the universe is co-creating with us, and we don't get to control all of the factors. So the advancement of the level 5 controller into level 6 is starting to understand, accept, and believe in that non-control is the way. Ironically, it sounds crazy because I am visualizing what I want. It seems like I can choose what I want and control it in my life, but the only thing that I control is the thoughts inside of me, that's my will, that controls the feelings, actions, and behaviors. Everything else, which is about 99% of everything else, I don't control. If I can practice the non-control side of me, I will advance to level 6 rapidly, sometimes in the same day. Now, level 6 being the waiter. The waiter is another form of a catch-22. So it sounds like half the time these levels seem to be backwards, or seems like the universe is testing us, or any of that. But what's actually happening is the universe is never testing you. What's happening is you are evolving your states of consciousness and working through all the variables you need to in order to get to the ultimate level, level 10, and actually well above. The waiter is challenged by the waiting game to actually see the manifestation happen. They've now understood, accepted, and believe in the non-control principle. They're okay with co-creating with the universe. They're all right with the universe bringing towards them whatever they wish for, intend for, or believe in, but there's an impatience wound that's still going on for them. Now, as you can tell, most of these levels are partnered with a light and also partnered with a shadow. The shadow is a challenge you need to work through to advance to the next level. So the shadow here for the waiter is the shadow of impatience. They're practicing faith. They're practicing belief, and they've let and allowed and done the plenty of exercises out there on letting go and detaching from an outcome, but they're not detached from the timeline of when the thing's actually going to come. And in order for the reward to come in the advancement into the higher level of level 7, they need to develop the skill of patience, and also simultaneously the skill of feeling the presence of the outcome now rather than waiting or feeling the absence of it. So the greatest trick here to level 6 to getting to level 7 is loving the vibrational reality of the thing that's already here, rather than the physical result that has not come in yet. So the shadow aspect of the waiter loves the physical result more than the vibrational reality. And in that case, if they can switch that perspective and love the vibrational reality more than the actual physical result, as crazy as that sounds, they will get to level 7 very, very quickly. The implementer is a phenomenal state to be in. If you stayed at level 7, the implementer, for the rest of your life, you would be very happy. You would have a lot of peace within, and you wouldn't even need to transcend to even level 10. However, level 10 is the ultimate. So the implementer, no matter what, always has a calling to continue to the higher levels. But this is at least a nice state to be in. The implementer now has a toolbox of skills, indeed, around also waiter to the implementer, the patience, and the understanding of loving the vibrational reality. Now, the implementer stage is a form of implementation of all the skills and gifts they've been able to develop from levels 1 through level 7. They see physical results. It's not always the ultimate result, but they do see some quantum leaps happening here and there. They see some of the results continuously coming in and improving at a lot more of a higher rate, and ultimately manifesting better feeling thoughts, which keeps their state into a better feeling happiness and level of peace. Even at level 7, there are big challenges because every challenge has an equal opportunity for growth. That's why every level has its own shadow, its own pain point, and its own desire to awaken to that next level. Because ultimately, every stage you're taking on here, every single level, is developing your wisdom, a level of consciousness to a much higher level. The challenge here for the implementer is chaos. The chaos that ensues internally as well as externally starts to become very unorganized. So on the physical plane, it can be a little bit of a roller coaster when they see good results and then not so good results and not so good results in a little bit of a loop. And the reward and advancement into the much higher level of level 8, which you're going to absolutely love, really helps them develop themselves at a more organized level in life. The element here is structure. Getting themselves very, very well structured in the physical plane, allowing the different things to play out. Now, this comes in two forms, because for the more masculine oriented, it's going to be very firm structure in the physical, but for the more feminine, it will be still flowing in the physical, but organized flow. So no matter what more you embody, the more masculine energy or the more feminine, it does not mean everything needs to be perfectly structured. It just means the form of the masculine is going to be a little bit more linear structure versus the more feminine is going to be more of a flow structure, where the masculine holds the energies of the flowing feminine. The harmonizer for level 8. We are getting so close to the infinite level of level 10. The harmonizer has bypassed and went plenty far in all the skills and gifts. Not only that, but also has amazing structure either in the masculine or the feminine flow state. The harmonizer is somebody that you approach and you're around and you feel their magnitude. You feel their ultimate presence. And it's a sense like they're harmonizing at a highest level that when you're around them, you feel good. Things just seem more peaceful within them. It seems like things are just in a higher vibration overall. Now, the harmonizer actually loves the blessing of the challenge it has here at level 8, which is a little bit of emotional turbulence. Now that their physical plane is a little bit more orderly, the internal plane has yet to be ordered. There can be a roller coaster of changing of frequencies within, not huge jumps, but a little bit of change, so much so that sometimes a harmonizer feels out of whack or out of alignment. What happens at this stage is a beautiful gift and reward that comes in as they start to harmonize the internal side, they begin to master their vibrational state at a higher level. Now, these are minute things because day to day they feel like they're doing the work, they've done things, they've mastered things, they have good physical results. But what happens here is a deeper level of trauma healing. So what we do as a harmonizer to advance to the amazing, pristine, higher level of level 9 is do a very deep set of healing to allow us to get way less triggerable on the physical plane. So the harmonizer advancing to level 9 starts to become almost intriggerable. Not a lot of stuff affects them. They can maintain a level internally that they want to be at, which enters then the level 9 flow state. Flow state is out of this world. It is something that you are in a higher dimension integrated on this lower 3D dimension, and in such a flow state that miracles, unexpected, amazing occurrences can flow into your life with a lot more ease. It just seems like things constantly flow for these very, very unique individuals in terms of flow, in terms of happiness and inner peace, in terms of order all around them. Now, the flow state is very low on the percentage of our human population. Very few people in this world are actually in level 9 flow state. Ultimately, they're in such a beautiful internal state as well as vibration that things come to them easier than you could ever possibly imagine. Things flow with a lot less effort, and they're ultimately in their highest calling most of their day, if not every day. It's the level we all want to achieve. I know we want to get to level 10, but level 9 is one of those levels where you'd say, I had the most beautiful, amazing life. To note, this does not indicate that it doesn't come with difficulties and challenges in this lifetime. It's just how they take the challenges and difficulties are very different than any level from level 1 to even level 8. At level 9, there will still be things that happen called life. There will be things in the family dynamics or different things that go on. There will be different things in their business that come with challenges and difficulties. There will be other learning experiences to be had in the flow state. So the ultimate here is not getting to a state of perfection where it seems like everything in the world is just so easy, but instead how we live this life and how things come in and what we do about them is so drastically different than any of the levels 1 through 8. And they're experiencing more of their day, the results and good things that they do want. And when things do become a challenge and difficult, they respond in such a way that lessens the effort around them and makes that part or that thing a gift in its own right. They do see more synchronicities and serendipitous moments more than the everyday person by usually a factor of tenfold or more. One of the last remaining challenges from level 9 to this mastery level that we're about to get to in level 10 is a slight disconnection from source. So to advance to level 10, and the reward of that is getting more in harmony with the wholeness of who we really are almost every moment of the day. And in that way, we get to the ultimate level of level 10. And we've arrived. We've arrived at the most pristine level in this physical life that you can attain. And that's level 10, the level of master. The level of master is Christ consciousness. It is the Buddha. It is the other religious figures that we've all heard about achieving this highest level of ultimate consciousness. At this level, you don't necessarily transcend your ego. Your ego is so integrated within the embodiment of the higher level of consciousness that it no longer protects you from various things that it would have protected you from level 1 to even level 9. There's a sense of boundless, unconditional love, unconditional compassion for all human beings, and there's a sense of boundless abundance for all people. And in fact, in this level 10, there isn't really an attachment to even manifesting or attracting in results in the first place. It's transcendent of even wanting or needing anything on the physical plane. It is pure alignment with source and wholeness, and ultimately attracts in the miracles that it so desires at any moment, still within a timeline because we live in the physical plane. This level 10 state is not magic, and it's not sci-fi, though there are internal powers that manifest on the external plane in the form of miracles. This level 10 state is what we all seek internally. And as we continue our progress in our levels of consciousness, we will start to achieve ultimate levels of peace and prosperity. Your ascendance from all of the different levels, no matter where you find yourself at today, is a worthy ideal to advance in. Every level you jump, you'll gain a better level of wisdom and peace. Every level you jump, you're going to gain a higher level of happiness. Every level you jump, you're going to have more mental, spiritual, and physical progress. It's all worth it, but to know ahead of time, this is just like any other game. And I firmly believe that life is a game of levels. Every level is going to have its own rules. Every level is going to have its own opponent or challenge. And every level is going to come with its own reward. But you have to have the courage to step up and to look at the level and what you need to do to get that other level. You need to have complete accountability internally and courage to face your biggest fears, to face your biggest shadows, to face anything that may feel uncomfortable or scary in any way. And as you face your fears and the scary moments that you feel are uncomfortable for you, you will start to advance on this level and ascend to higher levels very rapidly. The trick to all this on ascendance is one thing, and that one thing is how fast can you face your shadows? How fast can you, every time you get uncomfortable, you do the thing anyways? How fast every time you're scared and excited about something, you go forth and put action into that thing? How fast can you accept that idea? That's the rate at the levels that you'll start to increase, along with your predetermined route in your soul, wherever your soul maturity is already coming into this physical life. I'd love to see your comment below. What level do you think you are at today? Are you at level 1? Most likely not, because you're watching this video. Are you at level 5? Maybe it's a possibility. Are you already at level 7 or 8? Are you at level 4? Where are you at in the spectrum? And one of the keys to ascendance is being honest with yourself and not doing something where it's over. Meaning, if I really know I'm at level 4 and I fake it and say I'm at level 5, that actually detracts from your advancement to the next level. You see, it's not about what we say out loud that manifests in our life. It's what we unconsciously believe. And if I'm saying out loud, yeah, I'm at controller 5, but I feel that I know in my psyche, in my subconscious, I'm at a level 4, say you're at a level 4. Because as soon as you accept where you're at today, it opens the field of consciousness and wisdom to bring you forth and pull you upwards to the much higher level. Not always easy to do, not always easy to be honest with yourself and others, but as you do so more and more, the advancement of the opening of the field will become easier and more attainable for you. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And also, if you're looking for help on ascendance to your next level, you'd like to get some support on it, check in the description below, get started in one of our various programs.